I want to start by saying the story is allegedly a data-based analysis because as we zoom out here, it seems like this is based on something else. And I am now surrounded by legs. We've got David Gura and our friend Chris Rovzar is here. Boys, you're showing a lot of leg. Is this office appropriate?
Showing a lot of leg. This piece we're going to talk about by Chris has caused more than a minor tempest in office towers across New York City and indeed in commercial capitals around the world. He not proposing that shorts be allowed in the workplace, but investigating whether or not there's an appetite for it. And Chris, to Christina's point, you did this in a very data-driven way. You conducted a survey. Is now the time?
You didn't just
in the
take the
dog
legs
days
out
of
and
summer.
just say how you feel about it. There are facts here.
No, we had the Bloomberg Terminal people survey using one of their market pulse surveys, analysts and terminal subscribers, and 45% of people,
45%,
not a majority, said that it was suitable to wear shorts to work. Now, some of these people responded and said, "Yeah, oh yeah, of course it's okay if you work at a surf shop." You know, people really do not support wearing shorts to work. However, I believe it's time.
You believe it's time, and you're going to take that position. I work near you physically in the office. Yeah. You often do wear shorts in the summer. You've been taking this stand for a while.
I have.
Before you put pen to paper. I want you to go back to when you first did it. Were you apprehensive about it? What did you think the reaction was going to be?
Yeah, well, like a lot of people I talked to for this piece, I had at one point or another in my career been scolded for not being dressed up enough for work. And that's a real thing. Like,
I mean, this is a guy who wears monogram shirts to work, Christina. So be clear about that.
I find him very fancy.
Okay.
He had some very chic linen pants on last time he was here.
But there are times, you know, when you're not dressed appropriately for a situation, if you're in meeting with people or whatever. But if you're not, if you're just going to work, you know, you're just going to be a desk jockey for the day. My personal rule is that if it's over 90 degrees, you should be allowed to wear Fahrenheit, about 32 Celsius. You should be allowed to
wear,
listeners,
another
shorts. Now, one of the first times I did in this office, I was walking through the newsroom, and the deputy editor-in-chief of Bloomberg News yelled across the room.
Hello, Reto Grigori. We say good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. He said, "What, are you going to the beach?" And this is a scary Swiss man.
Yeah.
He's lovely, but very intense.
At first blush, yes.
So I thought, okay, this is maybe not super accepted, but I powered through.
Yeah.
And now I think it's a topic of conversation all over New York City.
I will say, since I knew we were doing this piece,
you didn't wear shorts.
I did forget my shorts. I'm sorry. I just came back from vacation. I did forget my shorts, ironically. But as I was looking around today on a Friday in the summer, there were quite a few pair of work shorts. Now, I've never done summer shorts, but I do have like the really long Bermudas that kind of go with the matching jacket.
Do we call those culottes?
Culotte adjacent.
Yes.
Clam diggers.
And I've done winter shorts because you can wear them with tights. Because for me, the controversy here, especially on the women's end, is what length of short is workplace appropriate? Because we have varying hemlines on YouTube.
We wanted to show a little leg.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, is there a thigh threshold for work appropriateness? Did you ask people about the length and kind of shorts?
People, you know, the thing is, you think the longer, like the more appropriate. But if you get shorts that are kind of below the knee, that's also a different look. That can be like feel less tidy. So my feeling is like a 7 to 9 inch inseam. Anything shorter than that. Usually my husband tells me what is appropriate for work. And one day he wasn't home, he was traveling, and I went to work, and I immediately walked in the office and I was like, these are too short.
These are too short.
I made a mistake.
You dig into the history here. Look, during Revolutionary War times, the men in power were wearing, I guess, not shorts, but
breeches.
Here's the thing. We think that like we've been wearing suits and stuff to work forever, and that's simply not true.
No.
It used to be that wearing clothes that recognize that you live in the world and you have to use your body for work was very not fancy. Like if you were an aristocrat, you needed to wear clothes like corsets and tight things and things that showed that you didn't have a body or you could never possibly use your body for work.
You didn't have to do labor.
You didn't have to do it. Like proved that you didn't have to do labor. But even then, men showed their legs. People wore breeches and wore tights. At the signing of the Declaration of Independence, John Adams was wearing stockings and showed his calves. So like, you can do it.
Celebrate that 250th, Christina. Right here, right now. Can I ask you last? We have a minute left.
Can I go home?
Can't go home. You know, you're paving this path. Are designers doing it as well? Are we seeing this like on the runways that now when it comes to men's fashion,
seeing it in women's
shorts are a
workwear
thing
as well. There are suit short outfits more and more frequently that you can buy.
There were two main pegs for this story, one of which was in Tokyo, there's actually like a government mandate that municipal workers are allowed to wear shorts. And that has caused a big...
And short sleeves,
and has caused a lot of consternation. And then also on the runways at the menswear show in Milan and in Paris, there were a lot of shorts paired with blazers, suits, and jackets. So like, Tom Ford, Louis Vuitton,
but Tom
Ralph
Brown
Lauren.
Has been doing this forever too, like the short suits.
I meant Tom Brown. Yeah, Tom Brown has always been doing it. Saint Laurent sent down a look on the runway, which was basically like a guy in a blazer with no bottoms. Okay. And that is like a nightmare that a lot of us have actually had, and what it feels like to show up to work.
Summer of 27, maybe. Maybe not here. Chris, thank you very much. Congrats on the controversy.
Thank you.
Thank you for breaking down borders and raising hemlines here in the office. We appreciate it.